And Moonmi, I'm going to pass you host.
Yeah.
Okay. We lost Fatima. Whenever I pass host, please pass me back the co-host. Anipa, are you going to teach the class?
Do you do you offer me if you will allow me? I want to teach, of course.
Oh, you want me to give you permission?
Yes.
So you knew you wanted to teach, but you didn't say anything until I mentioned it.
Yes, I didn't say about it because I was not confident to myself. And if you will say something about teaching, I will prepare myself.
Well, definitely now you cannot teach because you have revealed that you don't have enough confidence. So you're
okay. I will work on myself
you have,
when I will have confidence.
disqualified
I will tell
yourself.
you.
You're going to
Okay,
work on
teacher.
your confidence and then let me know.
Okay. Maybe it will take a time.
In my in-person class, right? I teach in person. Every single student interrupts me when I'm teaching, and they try to teach. I can't speak because if I say something, 6 people say they tell the student what the answer is. They tell the student what to say. But if I go quiet, they look at me. They're waiting. And I find it really interesting. I don't think they realize that they're sabotaging the teaching. And I keep saying, I say, stop, let me talk to the student. But they don't understand what's the matter. I'm helping them. But you can't, it's not really helpful to have 2 teachers or 10 teachers at the same time. It gets very noisy.
Yes, yes. And if you need some help from me, I will try to do my best for you. And I will prepare myself. I will also separate my time for you. Of course, it is possible.
Many things are possible. The question is, what do you want to do?
Yes, yes.
And I see Fatima is back. Fatima, are you able to hear us? Maybe not yet. Yeah, I don't see her microphone icon, which means her sound is not working. Yesterday, we had an election in the United States. If you don't know that, it's called the midterms, right? So every 4 years, we have a presidential election. And in between, 2 years after that, we have midterm elections. So people are recovering from their election parties. Just kidding. Probably no one is having election parties, but people who are very into politics. I'm very into politics, but I didn't hear about any election parties. Maybe if I had, I would have gone.
Do you want to join any elections? That someone will vote you?
Do I want to become a politician? No.
Why not?
Why not? Because I watch from far away, and that's bad enough. I see what happens to people doing politics.
You mean the corruption?
Sure. That's one way to put it. I don't know if that's the right word. I have to find a better word than corruption, but yeah, the antics. It's difficult.
Yes, it is difficult, and it is also dirty. Dirty thing. The politics
It can
is dirty,
be.
I think.
It can be dirty. There are a lot of things that are dirty. Being a person in the world can be pretty dirty just in itself. Yeah.
Yes. It is also.
I know politics is dirty, but so is having almost any job or working in any organization. There's a lot of dirtiness to get messed up in.
But I think when we work at school, it's not dirty. It is amazing because the children are nice, they are pure, and they have pure souls, and you cannot think anything bad about your job. It is amazing that I am proud of my job because I teach children, I teach kids.
That's great. You have a job that you really enjoy and feel proud of to do.
Yes, because also it is good getting pleasure when I teach them English, and when they speak English, I get from their speech.
Yeah, being a teacher could be a really rewarding job. It could also, there's also a dark side to being a teacher, I think, as well. But it depends on the situation.
Yes, sometimes it's hard.
Is your sound working now, Fatima?
Yes, and I'm sorry for this connection 2 times. Today my net is not stable, but I try to manage my class, and I'm happy to see you all here. And I'm sad because of Nelly, the news that I heard in joining game, and I read the messages that he left, the Telegram and WhatsApp group. And Discord also, I'm shocked about her reaction. I don't know what is it, but I'm not happy because of that news today.
Let's be clear about the news, just since if we're going to talk about it. So the news is Nelly said she's taking a break, and she left some of the groups, spaces like Discord, not all of the WhatsApp groups. I'm sorry, none of the WhatsApp groups, but then the Discord group. So I
No,
don't.
she left. She left
Excuse me.
WhatsApp. She
Oh.
left WhatsApp mixed level.
Really? I didn't. I was looking and I didn't see that, but I
No,
did see
she has.
she
Yeah.
left Telegram.
Yes, I looked. I saw there. She left
Yeah.
mixed
So-
level.
So to repeat again, this is the reason we have the agreement about talking about wanting to leave versus just leaving.
Yes, and Nelly is the one who always agree with you about talking about the things, not action. And suddenly she changed her mind and left without informing.
It was very sudden because I think in my time, 2 a.m., she said that she would do the announcements and the Zoom call. And then a few hours later, she said, suddenly, I'm taking a break. And then she disappeared. So I don't know what's going on with her. We can wait and see. But yeah, it is, what is the word you said, Fatima? Surprising, disappointing, sad? I can't remember the word you used. Shocked.
Yes, I don't know the difference between surprised and shock in detail. I think shock is a better word than
It's
surprise.
stronger.
Stronger, yes. I didn't expect her. Anyone else, yes, maybe left, but not her, because she was the one that always support you on agreement about talking about the things, not taking action, and
Yeah.
just she was decided to take a break on December, not now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the things that I remember.
Yeah.
And I hope everything is good with her. And
Yeah. Well, we're all human. We're all susceptible to sudden mood swings and impulsive behavior, right? It's possible for us to do that. And so if somebody does something impulsive today, they might do something impulsive tomorrow, like come back. We just don't know, right? Humans are all pretty unpredictable, but it does, in our member roles, at least, it creates chaos in the group. It impacts the group. So it may be very human to do it, and we may understand it, but it does have an impact on us, on the group, and on us, right? So I think my goal is to just remember that these things happen, not to take it just personally, and then we can respond, or make a decision about how we'd like to respond to that kind of to anybody leaving or doing something suddenly.
yes, good question. How we can respond? I like to learn how to respond.
I think the response comes from our feelings. When we are connected with our feelings, the response comes almost naturally, spontaneously.
It's feeling. What about action? What can I do? Nothing, just feel it only. I don't like this kind of canceling class happen, leaving. The group is not like before. Many things changes in this group. and I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah.
It makes me silent only. I don't know how to respond. I feel, but I can't respond. I can't give a reaction, and I like to learn it.
Well, you could explore what is getting in the way for you.
My ignorance.
Ignorance?
I don't have enough knowledge.
Okay.
I don't know why, the reason.
Yeah, so that is the edge of the unknown.
Yes.
Things happen and we don't know why. Lots of things happen that we don't know why. We don't know what people are thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually get frustrated frequently when I hear about cancellation, and I have seen last week all the classes. Then I had a hope that from this week Arif he will start teaching, then Elena will be, then again they have cancelled. It is really frustrating. And when in the mixed level group, people keep on inquiring, is there any class today? We want to practice. This is really, I mean, how we are going to answer. And yeah, I get frustrated, but then I put myself there. I have network problem. I cannot teach. I am sick. I cannot teach. So is there any other way? I can teach means yes, I'm not ready. I can teach. I have to do the cancellation. So yeah, as a teacher, I don't feel anything. It's good only if you are not ready to teach. And internet problem is, no one can do anything.
Well, it's true that the internet problem is a very real obstacle that we face.
Yeah.
I don't usually have an internet problem, but I had an internet problem this week. And only as soon as my class started. I had a class starting. It's a local class, but it's online. As soon as it starts, then I could not log on for 10 minutes. I just couldn't get onto the internet. And it happens. So happens to everybody. But there are, I mean, I asked Elena what happened, the reason for her cancellation, and I didn't get an answer. She just said she had to reschedule. And that's, I mean, it's true, right? Everybody sometimes needs to reschedule. But the level of cancellations is high.
Yeah.
Today it was about to cancel my class in the morning because of my trip, but I feel just responsibility to know I have to give my class, and after that at night we will travel, and so I think kind of responsibility. The teachers need to take the responsibility in this group, not for any small reason, just cancel the class or leave, or because it's not only me here, I'm related to a lot of people as a teacher, as a member. So it's disappointing sometimes teachers cancel their classes for not maybe main reason or specific reason. And I feel after James started taking a break, the group changed. Teachers don't like to teach. And I feel there's, I don't know how to say that, but I feel some changes happening. You are in Discord writing and you are active, but leaving your class has a strong impact on the group, I feel.
It does. It's obvious.
Yes.
I feel like cancellation becomes very easily. I mean, today I'm not available, or it's like repeatedly everyone is doing, and easily they can say.
When I am a teacher, I even not a teacher, but even as a student, I think my participation, I want to participate come hell or high water. Like, unless I'm bedridden, unless I really can't get out of bed, I follow through. Otherwise, it falls apart. The agreement falls apart. To participate or to be a group. And it spreads a little bit like a contagious disease. Then everyone thinks, oh, I can just come and go. It doesn't really matter.
It kills the motivation for teachers, for teaching sometimes.
What kills the motivation?
The
For
things
the
that
students not to
happen,
come?
students not to come, not eager for attending the classes.
Well, see, that's a teacher issue. See, if the students not coming, if the teacher takes that personally, I think that's the teacher's job. I think it's the teacher's job to show up no matter what. If the teacher wants to host a class, they show up no matter what. If the teacher puts it on the students, I think that's upside down. The teacher is asking the students to be reliable or committed when the teacher is not committing. I don't think that works.
Yeah, but most of teachers take it personally, that they think if they show up, they need number of students that attending were high, was increasing, not decreasing. It gives them motivation in general, I think, for teachers. Maybe it's not true, as you say,
Well,
yes.
no,
But I mean the reality,
no,
not the truth.
no. That's not what I said. I didn't say that teachers don't appreciate attendance or appreciate certain things, but I'm pointing out that I don't think that that is the goal of teaching. I don't think the goal of teaching is to get the appreciation or the satisfaction from the students. Now, the teacher may do that. The teacher may experience satisfaction from the appreciation of students, but I think that that's an obstacle to being an effective teacher.
So you mean the teacher should show up in any case without caring about the number of the students, just show up. The teacher show up is important on time and without caring about the number of a student, and just give the class, right?
I would say it just a little bit differently, which is that the teacher either is deciding they want to teach or not. If the teacher has some minimum requirement, that's fine, but I would want to know what it is. Not just have it be arbitrary, like a feeling on the day, oh, my students don't like me, so I'm canceling my class. That doesn't seem stable to me. If a teacher says, look, it's only worth me teaching if there are 50 students who sign up. I'm going to teach a class on the 1st of the month. Everyone needs to RSVP. And depending on the number of RSVPs, I will hold the class or I won't hold the class. Fine. Then the students have a clear understanding of what the agreement is. And then they know, okay, well, there may not be a class, but I know the reason. If the teacher just has a feeling, oh, there aren't enough students today, so I'm also not committing, that to me doesn't make sense. It doesn't work as an agreement. It's not clear. what's going on or what's necessary for the teacher to hold the class. So if the teacher doesn't make that kind of requirement and says they're going to teach and then doesn't teach, well, then they're not creating a foundation for the students to commit either.
The commitment of teacher comes before the commitment of students.
I think so.
Mm. Yes.
Now I need to go because I have a meeting at work that I have to attend, that I want to attend. I don't have to attend it, but I want to attend it. And so I'm gonna duck out, but it was nice seeing everybody. Enjoy the rest of your time with Fatima.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
You
Yes.
were the host.
I'm the
Yeah,
host.
Make me host. Make
Why am
me
I the
host or
host? I
someone
thought
else. Yeah.
oh,
Yes.
okay.
I remember Claudette's meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, James. Again, hello everyone, and we just want to have an open conversation. Just feel free to talk about whatever you like. Welcome, Siamak, Azita, Manik, Sayed, Mr. Qasim, Kornia, Anipa, Gasper, and nice to meet you all here.
Hello, Fatima. Assalamualaikum.
Hello. Salamun alaikum.
ما في شيء.
Okay, who wanna start the topic? Which
I wanted
topic
to
do you
know.
like?
I always hear what Assalamu alaikum. Actually, what does that mean?
Okay,
Alaikum
assalamu
assalam. I hear it all the time.
greeting. Hello and greeting in Islamic language, Arabic language or Islamic way.
Okay, just
they
hello.
say
Just hello.
Assalamu alaikum. I think yes, just hello. I don't know more. Hello, yes, hello.
Shall I help? Because I'm
Yeah.
Arabic speak
Oh
native.
yes, of course.
Yes. Hello, my
I
friends.
like to
It
know.
means thank you, Fatima. It means peace be upon you. Peace be upon
Peace
you.
be upon you. Assalamu alaikum. Which one means?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu
Assalam,
alaikum.
peace. Yes, alaikum. Peace be upon you.
Okay. And alaikum assalam. Peace be
Peace
upon
be-
you
yes.
too.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So what about the meaning of hello in Arabic? It's not
مرحبا. مرحبا.
Marhaban.
أهلا.
I didn't know
مرحبا.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, it
Great.
means welcome to. Hello.
Yes. Hello, Hank, welcome. How are you?
There is a famous prayer. I don't know, it is prayer song or something. Muhammad Amina or something. My daughter watched it on YouTube and also in TikTok. So they used to. My son also used to sing. I don't understand, but I like the tone. I like it.
Yeah,
It
Muhammad
maybe it is a
Amin.
prayer song.
It's a song about Prophet Muhammad.
Muhammad Nabina.
Yes,
Mm.
Muhammad Nabin.
I like it so much. Yes. Muhammad is our prophet.
Yes, yes, Hazrat Muhammad. I know. I know.
Yes.
I'm back. Daylight
Oh,
savings
welcome.
times
Welcome back.
confused me completely. My meeting is in 1 hour from now.
We're so
Great.
happy. I'm so happy.
Yes.
Munmi, did you make the announcement in the WhatsApp groups?
Yes, everywhere I did.
Okay,
And YouTube's link also I sent.
great. Telegram?
I am not able. I mean, I don't have permission there.
Can I
can't
give you-
write any message. Yes,
Can I
you
give
can.
you permission?
You can.
Okay.
Welcome, Ayesha. Okay, there's no topic you want to talk about?
Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, this month we celebrate a special day for teachers. In my country, the 20th of November is our Teachers' Day. And I think we can talk about our job as a teacher. What do you like most about your job, and what you don't like about your job? Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Because my
Yes.
neighbors are singing loudly.
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about teachers and you want to talk about your job as a teacher, right, Hong?
Yes, I suppose it's the topic because we are preparing for this special day.
Today is Teachers' Day in your country?
Yes, the Teacher Day in
Congratulations.
my country is on the 20th of November.
Great.
And
Mr. Gus,
20th November. And 20th November is, I think, World Children's Day also.
Mr. Gassim in the chat has asked what the topic is. We don't have a specific topic, but this topic that Rosie is mentioning about teaching came up in Discord, and it's something I've been wanting to talk about both. What is a teacher and what is a school? And you might have seen I posted a blog post from someone talking about the difference between a school that is set up as a business and teaching in a way that where the teaching is not a business. And anyway, there's lots to say about that, but that's that interests me. I do think that there is an important difference. I think sometimes there's a confusion as if being paid means that it's a business. It's that I don't think is the same thing. I think there is a difference between the ways that, let's say, a public school might be set up and where the teachers get paid, and yet still the main purpose of the institution is not to make money from the students or from anyone.
Well, first of all, and hello everyone, and I would like to say it is so nice to see you again, Mr. James, and I think there's a lot to say, and I hope I will get the chance to discuss that with you. Well, I mean, anyhow, well, that is very interesting topic and to talk about, and there is a lot mistake actually to mention. For me, well, I do differentiate between both of them. Well, the way I've been through, according to my career experience, there's lots of difference between the two of them. Theoretically, yes, it must not be there must not be different between both of them. Teachers should do their job as a teacher. They could just get paid, and they should not pay attention about if they are paid. They should not be a good teachers or so. But realistically, that is not an easy task to be delivered. And I would try to tell you what are the intersection between these circles. As a teacher, you have some circles. The most important when we have circles is the places of intersections. You have the administration board. They have some specific tasks they ask you to deliver. There is also the ministry. Also, they have certain tasks that you need to apply. There is the goals of the student, which is informative things that also you need to apply. And there is also the student safety, classroom safety. All of these circles considered to be your work. They all intersect with each other. It is not easy for people to understand how to act in these areas of intersections. For example, when your boss asks you to do something you don't like, you don't agree with, either it is methodology or something to be taught or the way to be handled something, or a way that you just have to deal with the student, especially when there is the interference of the social worker of your school. So here comes where the hard one. Here comes where you need, you might even find yourself in a very interminable discussion, and you may even get frustrated. Here comes the area where what we call the evil is in the details of these places. But normally, it is really hard. It's really hard to be a teacher without paying attention to you are getting paid. And this is from my point of view.
So lots that we could discuss about it. Where do people want to start? I think Mr. Gassi makes a good point about when you have an organization, there's going to be some kind of administration, or I think you said like a Ministry of Education, some group that is managing and deciding what the curriculum is. This is actually a very hot topic in the United States now. Who decides what students in public school learn? Do the parents have a say? Do the teachers have a say? Is it the government's job to decide? There's a lot of different opinions about this. The more and more people are worried about information, or what's called disinformation or propaganda, right? There is now more and more a fight for what is taught and who decides what is taught.
Yes, this is really a very important point, especially when you are the head of the department. Then, especially in the system of international schools, here you need to sit with what we call the education resource manager. Those people, they think financially, for example, to determine should we use Holt algebra, for example, or we should just go with McGraw-Hill algebra. So they define this not as which one provide the most important knowledge for the student. They think from a way of very
I'm sorry,
financial way.
I don't understand the term that you said, melagebrabra? Oh, algebra, algebra.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
An example, it's an example. Like I had this one actually. And then, you know, there are some organizations, they have books and curriculum. They are very cheap, but they do not offer the skills, not the math, especially for the applied knowledge. We have the skills and we have the knowledge. If I am focusing on the knowledge, but not the skills that this knowledge need to be implemented on or to be used in, then I believe the process of education is still not useful, especially for mathematics and science and so on. Here, you will find an argument that is very classic, like the book that we should always teach our student and organization or in school should always offer applied knowledge when it comes to mathematics. Then it's hard because those books always charges, you know, lots of money in order to have them. Well, there's other way financially cheaper, but not with the same one. Well, the school goal is like everyone is happy, the parents are happy, students are getting good grades, so that's perfect.
Well,
So
so I want to describe something that I see happening in schools that I think is very dangerous. The school charges money to students to study at the school. So the students then become the ones who are paying for the education. Then the teachers are judged on whether the students want to take that teacher's class. So if enrollment is high, then the teacher is doing their job. And if enrollment is low, that teacher may be fired. The head of the department says, you know, your classes are just not popular, so we don't need you because it's not bringing in money. But then the more and more the teacher tries to make the students happy, the more the teacher, I think, is not able to do their job. And this happened recently. One teacher was fired because they were giving their students low grades. Now, if the teacher is giving low grades because the students are not doing well, and the students complain and are able to win because they're paying money, that seems to undermine the whole purpose of the school.
well, this point could be seen the way you say it if you are the principal and you have some principle about education. But the problem is we have what we call the owner. I think that is very typical to one of the group that we've been through. Then they just have their own way of seeing things. And to some extent, you know, they see it this way without knowledge. So
Sure.
they have the tool to say that you should stop. They have the tool that they just could make it for you hard to just leave the place. I think that happens in every school. We have the school owner, because now school is business, really. Non-governmental school, public school are business.
Wait a minute. Really? So non-government school could be a business. I mean, we have businesses in society. There are organizations that just want to make money. But I'm not sure that a public school is a business, because the public school is created by the government. Now, is the government the same as a business? I really don't think so.
Yes. Well, to some extent, it is really business. It depends on the place that you are in. It depends on the country that you are in. It depends on lots of things. So that is governmental business.
If the government, if you're going to say that the government is a business, we need to talk about that, because that is essentially that's a fundamental problem. I make a very clear distinction between a customer and a citizen. See, a customer only has value for what they can pay, but a citizen has value even if they have no money.
Yes,
So
as rights.
a government works for citizens, a business works for customers, and it's two very different things.
Well, I do understand, but as reality, how many governments work this way around the world, around the globe?
Well, so that's fine. We could talk about the goal versus the reality, and our our governments working in the interests of citizens, or are they working in the interests of people who have money? It's true. It's true that many governments work for the people who have money, but at least there is the potential not to. They still have the potential not to, based on their structure. It may be difficult to achieve, but it's at least it's built into the structure. Where the business, it's not even built into the structure. There is no way to come in as a citizen in a business. You are structurally excluded. Now, in a government, there may be some barriers to being an effective influence on the government and getting your voice, but at least in paper, it is described that you have an ability to do that. So I still think it's different. Yes, we can criticize how governments are captured by money interests.
Yes, I do concur to that, to the last point. Yes, I do agree. But, well, as I said before, well, that could be an argument, you know. But the real point of all of it, it is very clear when you go to non-governmental school. You can see this very, very clear.
You see, even with non-governmental schools, I think there's different kinds of schools. Like my school, the school that I work in New York, it's non-governmental, but it's also non-profit. So our reasons for doing things are different than making money. We don't seek to make money. We need to raise money. And I'm not saying that all non-profit organizations are good. Sometimes non-profit organizations do very bad things, but it is different. And so there are schools, they're very clear. They say the reason we're a school is to make money. If you want to learn English or you want to learn something, just pay us money and we'll teach you. A lot of private schools are like that. I'm not so worried about that because those exist. Personally, I'm interested in how could we create a school that is different, and that is the school that we would want to have, where we are maybe using money, but not that's not the main purpose of the school, to take in money. And the conversation is heavy on you and me, Mr. Gassim. I don't know if other people want to say anything.
I have trusted
Yes,
that.
I want to say about my country, in public school, they're not working for money, but they work for interests of politics, unfortunately. So even on private school also, they're not free schools. They get money. They don't work in my city, as I see. They have the same purpose of public school, the same purpose, the same curriculum, and it's not satisfied me as a parent for my kids. Not private school, not public school. I like to have my own school, but it's impossible. Sorry. Money is important for private school, especially for hiring the teacher. If a teacher is popular and can satisfy the students, yes, they pay him or her more money. And the other teacher in beside me can get, for example, less money. So it's kind of discrimination happen in private school or in institute. And public school is trivial. They just support the politics and the purpose that government wants, nothing else. So the brainwashing happened for a student in public school, unfortunately, especially in small cities. But nowadays, students are very clever. They don't buy whatever teacher says. Teachers are not free at the school to say the truth. If we say the truth, they exclude the teacher. A very narrow-minded pace in our school. That's not satisfied parents and not the students. And I don't know, it's not a clear future in my country about school. I'm not satisfied at all as a teacher or as a parent. This is the situation in my country. I like to know about other countries as well. Anyone else?
Aisha here.
Yes, Aisha, go ahead.
Okay, talking about the education, especially that the situation in my country is almost the same, probably with others country, due to the political issues and also some kind of people try to make money through this through the education that they want to make business. And it's also the situation is also happened in my country. It seems like no money, no education, and it seems that especially for the public university, and I feel so sad watching that people, the intelligent people who wants to get a better education, a better knowledge in the public school, the popular public schools, especially university, public university. But nowadays, the university have to give some requirements that if you want to study here, you have to compete with the list of the prices that you have to provide to study in this university. And if you cannot provide some money to study here, so you will be, you have to remove, or you have to cannot study in this university. Even though there is some tasks to make any kind of the scholarship to those who cannot pay some money to the university, but this test is not quite appropriate, because there is some like politicals or something, I don't know what is called. And finally, some students have to face the reality that if they cannot provide some money to study in the university that they dream of, so they have to, and they have to continue to study according their financials they have. So and talking about the professional, as a teacher, I feel that we have a responsibility. It's not only about the money that we can earn through our ability, our skill, but the more important things as a human being, that the value of ourselves is not what we have, but what we give to others. So as a teacher, we have to realize that people out there needs our skills, needs our knowledge that we have to share to others. And regardless how many money that we can get through our professional. And I think the profession of teacher is the most noble profession than their others thing, because teachers is a like agent of change of peoples who at the beginning who don't know anything until they know everything. I can read, I can speak English. It's not from myself or from my family, but from my teacher. So it seemed that I owe them. I have to give some things. What do you call it? I have to repeat what they do, but there's nothing that I can do. Just pray for them for any goodness. So, but nowadays, I see especially in my country, some of the teachers seems like I also want to be like others professional, like people can get a lot of money through their professional, through their knowledge, through their skills, just like a doctor, like engineers. They can earn money as much as they can through their ability, through their skills. So I also can earn money through my professional, through my skills, my knowledge. Even though sometimes people try to give us some like a price for everything, for the knowledge that they want to give to the students, and it is something that make me sad, because it's not about the money, it's not about the profit, but there is satisfaction that we can make people can take any knowledge, any skill from ourselves. But it is and really, honestly, to be honest, I really inspire what Mr. James Greens do like this. He do sincerely to give some benefit to all these participants here and create such like a this class to others in order to improve English skill without paying anything. And it is hard to find a person like him nowadays. And yeah,
I said just 2 minutes left.
okay, thank you.
Time is getting
Okay, thank you.
over. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and yeah.
Anyone else want to say about school, public school in your country, your experience, or whatever you like to say? Satisfaction, dissatisfaction about this class. I'm satisfied that James attend my class today. So nice to see you and others as well.
I just want to say that I miss our classes very much, because I was saying in Discord, the classes that I teach locally are to all beginners, total beginners. So, you know, I'm spending hours and hours teaching, you know, I eat dinner. I am going to eat dinner. I am not going to eat dinner. And it's very monotonous. It's very, yeah, it's very different, right? Students need to learn that. And all of my students locally are beginners. I don't know why that is. I think that maybe when they get to the point where they can have conversations, they don't seek English classes, but they get a job And once they're able to have this level of conversation, they don't continue. They learn in other spaces. Even if the class is free, they don't seek it out. So my goal locally is I want to keep teaching the beginners because it's valuable, but is to build up locally a group of students who are more and more advanced. I have a few advanced students, but I would like more. And so I think our classes are really special in the level of topics that we're able to discuss. I could never discuss, even in my advanced class, it would be difficult to discuss something as a topic as advanced as the curricula or policies, philosophy of education. So we're lucky to have this group.
Yes. We are still waiting
Yeah.
for your philosophy classes.
We're waiting for my
We are
classes.
waiting.
Yes.
Well,
I will be
I'm waiting
all
for
my
your daily
life.
classes. I'm waiting for your daily classes, philosophy classes. This thing, if you start philosophy classes, I may join.
well, we'll see. I might start a weekly class at some point. I'm not planning on doing another daily class at any time soon, but we might do a weekly class. We could talk about that.
Yeah.
I I know that your class is over, Fatima. I will hold the group. We can talk for another 30 minutes because I have some space before I go to my meeting, and we can just continue to talk a little bit.
Yes, when I open Telegram, I see the philosophy class for a student. I see that you changed the name to philosophy class for a student, something like this. And it's not open to write anything. So I see, I'm thinking with myself, what's the benefit of this? I want to say something. I want to discuss about whatever I'm reading. Then a question comes to my mind. I want to ask, and there's no space.
Fatima,
Even in
Fatima.
Discord. Yes.
You have no sympathy from me because you have a space in Discord to talk about philosophy. That Telegram group is specifically to share files with people who take my classes. Because if I open that up to conversation, then you get 100 comments and nobody has the access to the files. That was the reason I opened up the WhatsApp group, but WhatsApp, you cannot see past messages. So every time new people would join, I'd have to reshare the files. The Telegram group is only for sharing my philosophy lectures so that new people come in and I can point them to the lectures. That's why it's closed to discussion in Telegram, but there's a group there's a channel in Discord for philosophy. Why aren't you using that if you want to talk about philosophy?
You said everything, just say in joining game. Don't use other channels.
Yeah.
That's why I
so well, that's true. You can talk about philosophy in the joining game channel.
in the joining game.
Fatima, I don't have a lot of sympathy for board members. If you want to set up, right, you asked me to host the Discord group, and now if you want Discord to be a certain way, and I don't even know what you want and how it to be set up. This is the first I'm hearing that you don't like it being in one channel. Have you said?
Yes, I don't like everything in one channel because it's not related. For example, we're talking about Nelly leaving the group, then I suddenly I want to talk about Plato. So it doesn't make sense. I need a separate channel to talk. Like philosophy, it was good to talk, to start. Yeah.
So in a certain way, it doesn't make sense. And I understand that. That's true. It doesn't make sense if you want to have two different discussions to have them at the same time in the same place. However, there is a different reason why it might make sense. And that is because when we're having a conversation, if we all just talk about what we want, but we don't talk to each other, we're not having a conversation, right? We could have 20 different channels and everybody is talking about what they want to talk about and nobody is reading or following along. So what I'm suggesting is hold what you want and bring it in so that we're all talking about one thing at a time and moving from one thing to the next. And if you feel that people are interrupting you, if you're talking about philosophy and people are talking about Nelly, well, you, in a way, you need to say so and say, hey, I was talking about philosophy. You changed the topic. I'm not ready to change the topic. If we don't learn how to do that, if we don't learn how to stand up for what we want to talk about and ask the group to follow us, then we're just leaving to be alone. Even if it's in the same group, we're just going into another channel and sitting there alone. I'm asking you to learn how to do that in the same channel. That's the reason I'm asking everybody to talk in the same channel. Look, I haven't done it by force. The channels are all still open. If you want to fight against me and do whatever you want, you still can write in the philosophy group. But if you want to follow what I'm suggesting, the idea is that we are learning how to work together. So personally, you may want to talk about philosophy, but to work together, you're going to have to ask the group if it wants to talk about philosophy, and it may not want to. And then what are you going to do? You're going to force them to talk about philosophy? Are you going to leave if you don't get what you want? Or are you going to find a way to work with other people and to join the group where it is? That's what we're all learning how to do. And it's not just in this group. You know, I've been talking about Twitter a lot. That's exactly what's going on Twitter. Exactly what's going on Twitter. There's some people, they're not happy about what's being said. They're leaving. There's some people not happy with what's being said. They're staying and they're complaining. People all over the world are learning what it means to have a group conversation and not getting what they want, because many times, many people do not get what they want. And then what do? Do you throw a tantrum? Do you threaten people? Do you ignore people? What do you do when you don't get what you want? Do you ask the leader? Do you say, the leader, it's the leader's fault. It's Elon Musk's fault that the world didn't get what it wants from the conversation, right? I mean, it's hilarious to see the projections that people put on a leader to get everything they want, like a godfather figure that can somehow magically make everybody satisfied. I interrupted you. What were you saying, Fatima?
I said, if I don't get what I want, I disconnect with people. And,
how do you do that?
Easy, very easy for me. And I'm satisfied.
It's easy, but how? How do you disconnect from people when you don't get what you want?
I don't talk about my want, and I stop. Because if I don't get what I want, I don't want to force people to listen to me. I don't want.
Whoa! Do you think you can?
No. For example, I don't want to bring a topic that maybe others are not interested in. So, like philosophy.
Well, I think I think there's a third option. See, it's great that you don't want to force people to listen to you or talk about what you want. But I think you're describing the other side, which is assuming that they don't want to talk about it. I have not yet seen you talk about philosophy in the Joining Game channel. So you're jumping to a conclusion before you even ask. And that is the other extreme, right? One extreme is you must do this or else I'm leaving. The other extreme is nobody wants to. I'll just drop myself and I didn't get what I want and I'm just dead. The alternative to those two extremes is working with the group and saying, I want to talk about philosophy. How about you? If you don't go there, you'll never see. You're dropping yourself. We're learning how not to drop ourselves, but also how to stay in our member role when we hold ourselves. It's a little tricky. That's the reason for having one channel, to learn how to do that.
Very difficult for me to have everything in one channel and unite every people on the same topic, but that's why I try to
I'm
just
just,
keep
I-
away from
I-
that for some time
Fatima,
because it's confusing for me. Yes.
I don't make the rules, actually. I'm just a tour guide here. See, I have brought things up over and over again. Sometimes they get picked up, sometimes they don't. But my method is to bring things up that are important to me and to continue to ask. Is it important to anyone else? Is it important? Anybody interested in this? That's what I do. You might notice it's hard for other people too. I've seen many times in the group, people will say, I would like this. And then nobody says that they agree, and then they disappear forever. And you say, hey, what happened to you? And they'll say, one time, 5 months ago, I asked for something. I didn't get it. So then I quit the group, right? If that's the attitude you're going to take, you're probably not going to get what you want. Because you're dropping yourself. You're waiting for, you're kind of like lying there limp, like, will somebody pick me up? If you hold yourself, okay, bring it in. Group's not ready, bring it in at a different time. Group's not ready. You're building your own strength to stand up for yourself. That's what everybody is learning how to do. Yeah, it's hard. Do you want a subgroup? See if it's hard for other people?
Anyone else?
Well, is it about the last discussion or about the previous one? And about the last one, yes, I would like to add some comments, especially when it comes to general group. I have noticed something really. Many people, they have got different expectation about what is actually happening when it comes to social media groups. And what I've noticed is lots of people take it to some extent, which I consider they take it to some extent real, personal. And if you ask a question and being ignored, or if you suggest something and not being accepted, if you are trying to raise a point and your voice is not being heard, then the reaction of that is the most important. And I think that exactly what defines that whether this group is going to develop or not, whether the thing in this group is going to be more beneficial. Well, see, if the idea is like, well, I want one group and I want a specific people, then here you are killing the diversity. And you're not hearing the other side, regardless of whether it's good for me or not. Other side of this also, I think, is, well, suppose that philosophy is not my interest, but where I could find the inspiration, that I could learn about it a little bit. If I'm not putting myself in a place where I will experience something different about my interest. Well, being in one place that will give you the chance to experience different. It's just like when you go to a restaurant and you buy what you want and you love all the time, or when you go to an open buffet. There are lots of things. Here, you will just have the curiosity of yours will be motivated, like, I would like to try this food. And guess what? We always get surprised, like, well, really, it's tasty. And we add it to our favorite, list of the dishes also. My point here is the price you pay here is extra. Definitely, it's not like when you got there. And the choices are very, very much. It's your responsibility to try to find and test and see and develop. So this is the way I say it. I think if we just look to it from that angle, there will be lots of ideas that will perish. They will cease to exist in our mind, and that will not cause us less of disturbance. I believe emotion also plays a very important role here. And I have seen this many times. People develop very kind of a specific emotion toward some situations. And as he said, Mr. James said that then he will just take himself and say, 5 months earlier or ago, I've just asked about something and that hasn't been delivered, so I left. So what I call like, you develop a certain kind of emotion. Now, well, this is one of the things that we need to worry about more than what we get in the group. The way we react, the way we develop things. Well, if we do not have what we call like a system to detect what we are developing as emotion, well, I believe we cannot be sure about what will be our next result, because we don't know what our next input. Well,
I think that's a really good point. We can develop our system to see how we react to things that are happening. And if we know how we're reacting, then we have more choices about what we want to do. Because we all have reactions to things that happen, but we might not be aware of it. And then we'll we can act on that without realizing it. So the more we develop that system of saying, oh, I'm angry that Nellie left without saying how long she'll be gone for, whatever, right? We can't control what other people do, but we can control what we do in response.
Yes, that's a point.
And we're all learning how to do that. It's okay not to know how to do that, or to just be beginning to see, oh, I didn't know that I had reactions to all of these things happening that are impacting me. I didn't know that I was upset that James stopped teaching a daily class, or I didn't know that I was scared to teach a class. So when I signed up to teach a class and then I canceled it, I didn't realize how nervous I was, or whatever it is that we're reacting to. We're all, can develop our ability to become a little bit more aware of it. Or again, I like to say the benefit of a group like this is that we can ask other people what they see. They might see it before we see it in ourselves. Like, we can point out, like, hey, did you know that you left the group without saying anything first, or giving a warning, or saying what you're upset about, or saying when you'd come back? They might not even realize they did that.
I think I speak. I talk right in Discord. I mean, whatever I feel, if I feel angry also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I write. But sometimes I think like I write too much. I mean, which is not important. Then also I write. So.
And what makes it too much?
I don't know, but I keep on writing, and I have a feeling that no, I mean, people maybe laughing at me. I mean, why it is necessary to write so much, so many things.
Whoa! How you saw what she did, right? First, she said she thinks she writes too much, and then when you ask her, she says other people think she writes too much.
Yes, other people.
I don't think you write too much.
But I can't control myself.
See, she doesn't believe it. See, she believes that other people think that. Then I told her it's not true, and she's still arguing with me.
No, not arguing. I mean, you are only one person in the group. There are so many people.
That's true. That's
I
true.
think there
I'm
are
only
many.
one
You are
person.
extrovert people. You are extrovert person. You
Moonmi,
speak
shut
a
up.
lot.
Moonmi, shut up.
Yes, I am.
Who do you think? Who do you think thinks you write too much?
I don't know, but I just. There are so many members. I mean, all of them are.
Moonmi,
reading.
see what Moonmi is doing? She's trying to find the person who believes. She's not, she doesn't know who, but she's on a mission to find them because they will confirm her belief that she is a bad person. And she's looking, she can't find them, but she's working very hard to find that one person to prove that she is as bad of a person as she knows she is.
Well, Mr. James, I would like to ask this, because I always have the idea of what I call sometime emotion preset a subconscious goal about the idea they have been reshaped, and then you will find. Yes,
I think it's a little different. I think it's, I know you're saying that the emotion sets the belief. I think it's a little different, which is it's not the emotion, but actually the reaction to the emotion. So for example, we feel something like happy or despair or whatever, and we don't want to just feel that. So we run away into the belief. We leave the emotion and we go into what I would call like a self-defeating belief. You know, we're not good. Other people don't like us. Other people think we write too much. Other people think we're too quiet. Whatever it is, there's a million things we can believe, but we retreat into the belief that we don't know if it's true or not, or we create it ourselves, right? We attack ourselves and we say, I write too much, or I write too little, or my English is not good, or whatever it is that we say about ourselves that is not very friendly.
Yes, the thing I would like to raise is after the point that you mentioned, where I have already been in, I would like to just I have already the emotion, then I set my belief, and what's after that? What I would like to talk about. How do people act after that? Though they have the option of to check whether it is true or not, the option of to see other possibilities, but still I find that stereotype, like lots of them will still continue to prove the belief they had. My question is, do we consider this? I'm not good at psychology. Well, I know nothing about psychology, but I would like to raise this question because that is your expertise.
What's the question?
I would like to raise a question for you. There's like, when I have emotion, the emotion will develop a belief. Then that belief will set other goals.
Well, I think you're talking about, you might be talking about confirmation bias, right? Which is,
well, forgive my ignorance of the terminology.
Let me say, so confirmation bias means we believe something, and then we look for, we block out things except what confirms what we already believe, right? So there's lots of information. Just this was a great example, right? Probably in these 13 people, maybe I would say most people probably think Moonmi, they like to read what Moonmi writes. But Moonmi blocks that out and she's looking only for the person who believes what she already believes. She believes she writes too much. And she'll say, is there, do you believe it too? That's confirmation bias. We block out information that does not fit with what we already think we know.
Exactly. But my question about what we call the terminology, the confirmation bias, do this one, I mean, this stage is, let us say, a self, like, I mean, a subconscious, I say, intelligent. I mean, sometimes I feel like the idea itself keep popping everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, sure. So yeah, that's you might hear me say it's another jargon psychology term that I use, survivor role. Just going to mute you, Anipa. It's a habit. We develop a way of behaving that becomes like second nature. We do it automatically.
Exactly.
And we do it over and over again, and we will do it forever unless we find a different way to act, which is something new. And the way you can do something new is by containing the desire to act, knowing how, bringing yourself back to the feeling and seeing where the choice point is. So do I want to do something familiar? If not, what is my other option? We can explore what the other option is. We got a few minutes left. I want to do surprises and learnings, and then I need to go. So surprises, learnings, satisfactions, dissatisfactions, discoveries, next moves.
Exactly. Well, it was very magnificent being here. I'm really sorry. I just have to go. I would like to know, how can I find the link and the timing of this one? I mean, these classes, not the beginner classes. No, we are going to teach like what's going on tomorrow.
Don't worry, I'm not inviting you to the beginner classes. Nobody here is invited to the beginner classes.
Good.
Well, you're in Discord, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so check out Discord. There's a channel for the schedule.
Okay.
That's the best place to look.
Thank you, and
nice to see you, Mr. Nazim.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. Go ahead, Aso.
Satisfaction. So happy to find you here and be back again. And I wish that you would resume your classes just like before. So I feel so happy today.
Nice to
even
hear
if
from you,
I
Aso.
couldn't find the chance to share. But I keep listening from the beginning to you.
I'm satisfied that that James has taught for half an hour and also was active participant in Fatima's class, and also satisfied to hear that I am not too expressive, because I have been struggling to know, because someone has commented on me that I'm very immature in my social behavior. My behavior is not appropriate. So I have been questioning myself for long days, and I'm satisfied to hear that you don't feel that I'm writing too much. And I'm waiting to see James daily, weekly classes. Anyone else?
Other
Aisha?
surprises, learnings. Aisha.
I'm really surprising that knowing that Mr. Jim in this class, but I just wondering who is the teacher in this class, Fatima or Mr. Jim, because Mr. Jim is dominated for this class. But I love that about this discussion so far, and I hope that your decision will change, that will make a daily class again. And yeah, we miss you. I miss you. Thank you.
This is Rosa from Mexico. I am happy because you are here. And also I am a little sad because I joined 3 minutes before that time. But thank you for being here.
Nice to hear from you, Rosa.
Anyone else?
All right, I'm gonna
say something.
last one.
Okay, James, I also want to share my opinion about the topic which you raised here today, about the philosophy and about.
Can you bring it in as a surprise or learning? Satisfaction, dissatisfaction, discovery, or next move? Because we're ending.
Next move, of course. I have to support you because we have to move, to develop, to improve, to increase our knowledge.
Great. Continue that. You can continue that discussion in Discord. We can talk about how to develop the group. Thanks, everybody. It's nice to see you all. Take care. See you soon, hopefully.
Thank you.
Have a good day,
Bye.
good week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.